Not throat blood, ass blood.
But God damn, you ruined my
What
burp.
was that?
You ruined my burp.
How do I sound right now on the mic? Am I sound clear or not clear? That's a
You
stupid
sound like
question.
horribly
Loud
clear.
or okay.
Perfect volume.
Okay. What about right now?
Either a little bit louder, but it still works.
And how about now?
That's actually perfect.
Really, the mic's like in my mouth.
Yeah, I know, that's why it's so loud.
Yes, grow my dream. What?
But it does, you gotta make the noise.
Whoa.
That's so anticlimactic.
Because you're expecting it.
I'll be right back. I'm going to go make some floats.
Some delights. What?
That is not what I said. I said floats.
Delights?
Floats!
I want delights now. Who's floating?
My ice cream and the root beer?
Oh, nice, nice.
Well, not yet.
You gotta make the floats float?
Yeah.
Wait, no, that can't be it. You can't do that. Floats can't float.
Yes, they can. Floats float. That's why they're called floats. Because they float.
The float is the whole thing. How could it float if it's not floating? Only part of it's floating.
You gotta put the stuff in it that makes it float, and then put it in more water so the float floats in water.
So it's not a float, there's other stuff in it.
No, it's an ice cream and soda, but then you put the cup itself in a thing of water, so it floats in the water, so it's a floating float. And then you put ice cream inside the water.
So it's ice cream float.
Yeah.
Why you call it floats?
No, it's a root beer float, but the cup, the whole float, it's... Why do they float? Because physics.
Why do they float?
Ice cream root beer?
Yeah.
Quit being a dick to me!
Right
What?
I know what you're doing. What'd you say,
What
Are
did
you
I
Eric?
guys in
do?
Minecraft?
Yeah, I'm in Minecraft.
Sweet.
What did I do,
I'll
Southern?
try.
Tell me. Tell me, Southern.
Swear to God, if we ever somehow magically end up in this fucking same nursing home, I hope you spill your tea on your face. I'll make you fucking spill your tea.
Fight me!
I'm gonna crash my fucking wheelchair into you.
That's the fictional scenario that you guys meet in a nursing home. That's like of all the fictional scenarios you could come up with, nursing home is the one you settled on.
You'd be surprised. I can go to where he lives, and then I can get old with him, and then, or at the same time as him, and then we can go into a nursing home at the same time. Yeah, and then try to kill each other, exactly.
That's a lot of effort.
If I'm having a heart attack, I'm gonna fall on you so you can deal with my heavy ass body. And I hope I'm fat.
No, you weren't. You're gonna be skinny.
You wish.
Skinny.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Wait, where are you going? Just never explained the floating situation.
I'm going to go make an ice cream float. I'm going to go put ice cream inside of a tall, empty glass. I'm gonna pour root beer in it and then stir it together.
So what
But
does
I
it turn
thought you
into
said
a
you were
float?
gonna float the float.
Well, I don't
Yeah,
have
that
enough.
makes no
I don't
sense.
feel
Did you
like
lie to
filling.
us?
I don't feel like filling the sink up with water to do that.
Why?
So it's not a float.
Because I'm playing.
Then-
I was supposed to say I'm playing ice cream. I'm playing Minecraft.
You said you were gonna make it float though.
Why don't you make me float? I don't know what that means.
Wait, can you make a float not float? What would that be called?
A
sink?
sink?
A sink?
Yeah.
No, like if it's sitting there, not sinking.
Well, if it's not floating, what is it doing?
I don't know, just sitting as one whole thing. How could a
If
float
it,
float if it's in the thing already?
okay, it's either floating or sinking. There's no in between.
There has to
It
be an
could just be
in-between. It's sitting in a
buoyant.
glass. The whole thing's afloat. It's just
If
sitting
it's
there.
buoyant, then it's
If it's
floating.
Well, maybe it's just buoyant in the water. Like it's not buoyant enough to float, but it's not unbuoyant enough to sink.
But it's
because if the
still
float was floating,
floating.
it'd be in the air.
Well, it
No,
wouldn't.
like,
Can you call it
Yes.
floating if it's not on top of the water?
yes.
Can you?
Yeah, okay, if you go get in a swimming pool right now, you're floating if you're on your back, but your ass cheeks are still in the water. You're still floating.
What does that got to do with my ass cheeks, though? I understand the
Because your
floating
ass
part.
cheeks are in the water. Because he's like, if it's not above water, your butt's in the water.
So, my ass is sinking.
Your ass is, yeah, sure. No, but your ass is floating because your ass isn't going down. Yeah, it's submerged.
Ah! So, submerged floating. Submerged float. That's what you're making.
I'm making an iceberg. Majority of it's under the damn surface.
Oh, it's a sinky.
No, because icebergs don't sink. They float.
Yeah. Icebergs don't float. There's more to it underneath.
That doesn't mean it's at the bottom
They're
of the
floating.
ocean. If it's sinking, it's going down to the bottom.
Well, then why they wouldn't be called icebergs if they're all the way in the fucking the bottom.
Icebergs like to hold their feelings in, okay? You have to get to know them to see the rest of them, damn it.
Yeah, look what happened at Titanic.
Titanic was depressed. It was going down anyway.
It's like, kill me.
Essentially.
Still don't get this whole floaty talk.
Why are we even having this talk?
Because I
You
don't
brought it
understand
up.
floats.
I didn't. I was just like, I'm gonna go make a float. And you were like, well, is it floating?
I mean, you can't call it a float if it's not floating. It's just
Then
sitting
what
there.
is it? A submerged? An iceberg?
No, look, a float. Look, I'm gonna describe a float floating. A float that's floating is a float in a glass that's floating in the air.
Why is it in the
That's a
air?
floating float because it's floating.
So do you call an airplane in the air floating?
No, that's flying. Because
Why
it's
is it
moving.
flying?
Because it's an engine. That's why.
Discord.
That's science. This is magic.
It doesn't make any fucking sense.
That's perfect sense.
No, it doesn't. So what's a boat doing on the water?
It's sailing.
But it's not moving.
Oh, if it's not moving, it's parked.
What the fuck? So I'm gonna go park my ice cream in my cup.
See, you called it an ice cream. You didn't call it a floaty, see?
Well, a float has, it's not a floaty, it's a floater, and it has ice cream in it, so I didn't have to say
It's
the ice
floater?
cream. Not a float.
Flowrider. The float.
Floatia, damn it.
Floativia.
No.
So a float is the whole thing that's in the glass.
I don't know. Why don't you ask the person that invented it?
I am. I'm asking you. You're making it right now.
I didn't make it right now. I'm sitting right here grabbing my crotch, adjusting my balls while I wait to go make my float.
Are your balls floats?
They do if you put them in water, and you get naked.
Why would you need to get naked? Just put them in water.
Skinny dipping. Why would you put them in water without getting naked? You're gonna get water on your pants.
Well, if it doesn't bother them, it's still floating.
No. They're hanging.
Yes. Or they sink. Not. They hang from the body. They don't hang from the water.
If you put them just enough in the water, they could be hanging from the water.
How could they hang from the water? They're not attached to the water.
How are things floating if they're not floating on water? Leave me alone.
Because it's not
I'm gonna go
surgically
make some
attached.
fucking ice
The
cream.
pole does not have a pair of testicles.
How do you know? Did you check the bottom of it?
Yes, because it's mine.
When did you get a pull?
A testicle.
Oh.
Not a pole. What?
Why do you only have one? Why don't you have two?
Because of a major accident in fucking Vietnam. That's
Ezra,
why.
what'd you do?
God damn it. I knew you were gonna fucking say that. Fucking Southern.
Are we done with this obnoxious conversation? Can I go make my dessert? My
Anything to keep
beverage?
you from making it.
What was it called again?